Hello, and welcome to another round of Unmatched After Action Reports. Today we have King Arthur versus Beowulf. And, well, right off the bat, this show is one of those maps where if you have a ranged sidekicks, you can start hitting the opponent's hero on the very first turn with double attacks. So, often not, you just want to do this, especially against Beowulf who has limited defenses. So, here, a perfect regroup into a skirmish. Every versatile use, it's one less defense for Beowulf. So one thing I could have done instead was to first attack with a feint and then attack with a regroup, which I think would have been fine. Because feint would have allowed him to not have any movement. So generally for this matchup anyway, it should be Beowulf favored. So King Arthur is going to have, especially if you use Wiglaf well, he's going to have difficulty killing both Wiglaf and having the damage enough to kill Beowulf. And if you're Beowulf, just play carefully. You'll be fine taking some attacks, and you should be okay in the long run, especially with Granders. So my style of playing King Arthur is I subscribe to the notion of boost early and boost often. Even if you're boosting with junk, that's fine. Make them waste a feint. So normally Beowulf doesn't want to attack you without reach. And here, so this is actually a good time if you're playing Beowulf to try to bluff an ancient heirloom. So with one reach, you can turn your heirloom into a 6 damage, and the opponent thinking that you are going to play epic poem will try to feint it, and they will have to eat 4 damage. So just make sure you have some defenses, skirmishes, feints, or whatever. Arthur being Arthur, he needs to draw back up. So some people say attacking with groups is also good, but I believe that they are equally good boost for the. So regroups on top of being boost fodder, they're also good as faking a momentous shift on Merlin. So arguably I should have used a regroup to attack instead of a shift at this point in time. Just to try to draw damage from draw defenses from Beowulf. Bewilderment means I take no damage from this, although Epic Poem was a scary 5. And what's my game plan here? My game plan here was to try to kill Wiglaf. There's only 5 health left. And a perfect momentum shift. Cleared it. So if I had a feint as Beowulf, I would have used it here. No, wait. If I had a feint, I wouldn't use it here. I'll save it against King Arthur. But if I had some other kind of defense, maybe a skirmish, might have considered defending with. So full rage, King Arthur wants to kill no contest expected from Merlin, but well, Merlin bewilders away. So I think these two bewilderments, the last two turns, went perfectly for me. Here, I just fake the momentum shift and use a regroup. So I was thinking this could be another no contest expected, and Merlin's dead. But could have defended with a shift. But at this point, I thought I didn't need Merlin anymore with Wiglaf out of the way. But on hindsight, I think I could have defended at least. So I used the noble sacrifice to boost myself in here, which I could have avoided if I just positioned King Arthur earlier when maneuvering Merlin to the center. So this was a mistake by me. Still 4 damage goes through on Beowulf, which isn't too bad. And generally, you want to use your Excaliburs early, precisely because of Vigor and Courage. Vigor and Courage still took Lady of Lake though, which was annoying, but oh well. Now it becomes a slugfest. I was thinking of defending with Skirmish, but I'm also of the belief that skirmishes for King Arthur should tend to be used for attacks rather than as defense. So especially if you boost them with something, some crap, at least they will still be doing 2 damage over a feint. Started to run because I was in a position where I could just drop and Beowulf had to boost to get to me, which it did. Expecting a heirloom at this point, so I had to use one of my skirmishes. But nope, it was a fatal struggle. So taking the chance, I start to attack. Could have just used a noble sacrifice, but I thought might as well just get rid of 2, expecting a feint. But I did it anyway. So at this point, I just, well, with losing Holy Grail and with Beowulf low on attacks, I just knew I had to pile on the damage, as much damage as I could, before Horns could be used. So running out of attacks already. But this was enough to finish him off. So one thing was that if he had boosted to move away, I would have been in much more trouble, considering that I was much closer to exhaustion, and he could afford to exhaust me out, especially with one more drinking horn left, and he had many more cards left in deck. So, yep, played carefully. I think more likely than not, Beowulf does have the advantage against King Arthur, but King Arthur's still pretty fun to play. Mm, I, obviously, King Arthur's a little bit under strength. Uh, some people propose changing a lot of his cards, like maybe letting his attacks, his boosted attacks be unfaintable. But I don't think that's the way. I think he all he needs is maybe a +1 boost value to most of his cards, and I think he'll be fine. All right.